Welcome to Speedbump. It's Outrun, mystery race. 6
Outrun.
players, maybe 7, if Patty ever gets connected. But we are ready to start otherwise.
Yeah. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Outrun, Outrun has a branching map, and there are 5 finish lines in the game, depending on which routes you choose. There's 5 different ways that the game can end. I let the players know that the goal for today would be get as many unique endings as possible. So there's goals A through E. We'll probably see 1 or 2 endings from most players. It's very short if you play well. You can get to any of the endings in about 5 minutes. So we'll see what happens. Let me go ahead and give them the countdown.
I'm ready. What a poppin' piece of art they have for the box here. "30 minutes on the clock." Patty was having tech issues. They might connect at some point in the middle of this.
Yeah, Outrun can be pretty challenging if you get hit hard enough and you flip. You probably are going to lose enough speed that you may not make the next checkpoint. So this race is really going to end up coming down to playing a clean race, and that gets trickier as you go through the game. You can see their map up in the top right corner, right next to stage 1. You see that branching map. That'll tell you what path they're on, and those 5 ending spots on the right-hand side are the 5 different goals.
Oh, subwoofers flipped. They're fine, don't worry about it. They got another car, and probably gonna need another 2 racers as well. Such a good song.
Yeah, I think that the console ports don't quite do the arcade version justice, but they're pretty solid, and this is probably among the better ports of the first Outrun.
Patty's coming in.
Go ahead and refresh. Yeah, I think Patty might be with us.
There it is. A little late start, but not that bad. Just lost a minute.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm familiar with the Sega Master System version of Outrun, but I know that Outrun had some pretty beloved ports.
There are 3 arcade games of this. There's Outrun, Outrun 2, and then some kind of special course extension of the second one.
Yeah, I'm aware of Outrun, Outrun 2, and Outrunners, but I'm not sure if that's a console or an arcade. This also has gotten some love in more recent consoles. Outrun 2 on the PlayStation 2 and Outrun 2 Coast to Coast. Outrun 2006, I guess, Coast to Coast. Are actually really great modernizations of this game, I think. This has not always been a style of racing game I've particularly loved. This older style of I kind of put them all in the Rad Racer bucket. They're not always fun to play, but I think that some of the more modern versions of it, like on the PlayStation 2, definitely did it a lot of favors.
Did you ever play Rad Racer with the power glove like a true gamer?
Absolutely not.
Doesn't look very interesting to do it that way. What do I know?
We've got 3 players on stage 3. Okami just took a spill on stage 3. It's gonna be a tough call to make it all the way to the checkpoint. So Spritz and Jay Lamsey seem like their best position to keep this race going. Yeah, Road Rash is fantastic. We were talking about Road Rash today. I think that might show up sometime.
I'm glad you played the FMV version that I had.
Yeah,
It's so stupid. I love it.
Yeah, I played that a bunch growing up and kind of like memory hold a lot of it.
There's a guy
but I
named,
remember really liking it.
There's a guy named Axel, maybe is his name, and his girlfriend's racing as well. And if you you can like talk to the racers in some kind of bar scene before you race, and she warns you that her boyfriend has a chain, as if that's some kind of like hard thing to get. Like, watch out.
Kidding, we all have chains.
Watch out, Axel's got a chain.
I guess I had a PC port because I definitely didn't have a 3DO. But that's the one I played.
Yeah, we've diverted pretty far from the Speedbump's original mission statement, but I would be, if I had players who wanted to play Battletoads, I would probably do it. We do pretty casual races weekly here at this point, usually, not every time. There is a version of Road Rash, it's the 1994 version that has a bunch of like, I don't know, they're probably on the dev team, just a bunch of dudes trying to look like bikers standing around, yelling and hooting and hollering, and then there's a guy who has like a golden cup full of money, and the winner is some dude in a motorcycle helmet comes up and starts a fight with that guy. There's like 15 variations of that, and they're all ridiculous.
It has too many FMVs.
And it plays like Soundgarden over them, and like Audio Slave, and some other like not super heavy, but kind of heavy rock metal band music. That is just, I mean, the appeal of that game is that it's a racing game where you can attack the other players like it's Double Dragon or something. It's not like Mario Kart levels of hitting them, but yeah, Axel does have a chain, and he uses it while you race, so watch out.
I gotta go dig that game back up.
I like the way they use the assets in this. It's a little bit obvious with how often they do it, with the houses and the boats and the checkerboard road. I'd love to drive on a checkerboard road like that.
They don't make roads like they used to, you know? Yeah, there's some pretty advanced techniques in this game if you are familiar with them. If you know what you're doing, you can do some pretty interesting stuff in this game. But hopefully we'll see our players finishing, you know, 1 or 2 goals by the end of it. I think most players will probably be able to complete at least 1 goal. We got Patty on stage 3. There's no big mistakes. I haven't been watching him this whole time, but if there's no big mistakes, we may be able to get back into stage 4. Sprit's entering stage 3 now.
Checkpoint.
So they're not actually racing anybody. They're racing their own self and their own
Yeah,
agenda.
it's racing a timer.
Yeah.
In some of the versions, there are rivals on the road. I don't know if this version has that, but there are rivals that you get bonus points for passing. I'm not as familiar with this port of Outrun, so I don't know if that is included in this version. Yeah, it's a Ferrari with exactly 2 speeds, high and low. Rivals are in some of the sequels. Okay. I've been working for a while making a retro achievement set for Outrun 2006, so I'm pretty familiar with it. And that game is full of game. There's so much content in that game.
Me in the little Jeep watching somebody drive by at 180 miles per hour. I'm doing the speed limit over here, going 40. It doesn't look like a road in which you would want to go quite that fast.
No, it doesn't seem well suited for it, especially when you got all these other cars going 120 kilometers per hour, or miles per hour. Why is everyone going way too fast?
There's a tornado off screen. Gotta outrun that.
Spritz is on stage 4 and is doing honestly quite well until that one spill just now. But I think there's going to be enough time to get to the next checkpoint. The transition always takes longer than it feels like it should. But we've got Spritz on stage 5.
What do the endings look like?
I mean, they're just the ends of each of these individual stages. At least I'm not familiar in this port with there being anything particularly special about the different endings. It's just, there are 5 different goal lines depending on which path you take. And the game refers to them as like goal A, goal B. They have different animations, okay. I wasn't sure how much of the arcade game or future games was featured here in the Genesis port. All right, well that's one goal on Spritz.
Get ready.
Is that 1 point or 5 points?
What do you mean? Oh, I'm just having them get as many goals as they can. So that's 1 point for Spritz so far.
Nice work. All the way.
All right, I'm gonna try to keep track of them in the chat. So Jaspertine is on stage 5. I feel like I didn't notice Jaspertine get all the way to stage 5. I'll look away for a second and here we are. Now, ostensibly, every time you reach a fork in the road, going to the left is supposed to take you to an easier segment, and going to the right is supposed to take you to a harder segment. Like, whether or not the player agrees with that, that's what the game is setting up. And so, in order to reach goal B, Spritz just needs to take a single hard path. So, taking all easy paths, but one hard path will lead to goal B. I don't know enough about the individual stages, so if it were me just making a guess, I would try taking all easy paths until the very end. And that's Jasper team with a goal.
This game gets tough in that last map. Even the A route, I had trouble getting it. It's tight.
Yeah. Yeah, making the timer is non-trivial. Like I said, each goal is only about 4 minutes from the start. So theoretically, our players could get all the goals, but I think realistically, most players will get 1 or 2. They shuffled some of the original placements of the sections in this port, so it's less guaranteed. The left path is easier. Okay. Yeah, a lot of the games sort of make an intentional statement about the left path being the easy one and the right path being the hard one. So that may not be true in this version, but that's typically what the game sets up.
Oh, Lamsey was doing well, but they flipped.
They may still have enough time to do it. They just need to make it to the checkpoint, because if you make it to the checkpoint in stage 5,
they give up.
You have enough time. It gives you another 60 seconds on the clock, and that is enough to complete the section.
You lose 10 seconds every time that happens.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's very punishing to flip.
Checkpoint.
That's why, honestly, it's much better to just slow down a bit if you need to, because getting punished by flipping is basically a restart, unless you've been playing very well.
You know, that's just good general driving advice.
Well, I'm not here for good driving advice. I'm here for good video game advice, and my video game advice is slow the heck down.
A bunch of dudes waiting at a big sign that says goal on it for some guy who just set his own time.
What's really sad is that there's 4 other groups of guys at the wrong goal.
It's whatever goal he chooses.
Checkpoint.
Point.
Checkpoint. I think our players are starting to find their rhythm, though. I'm noticing a lot more caution, and I think that's exactly what you need to do. I'm not sure for this port how rough it gets if you're trying to get, for instance, goal E. Maybe all of those paths are very difficult, and you really don't have the time to be riding the brakes all that much. But for goal A, at least, I feel like adequate use of the brake is not punished.
So Kami's almost there, but it's going to be close.
Well, fortunately, one of the interesting things about Outrun, at least the versions of Outrun I've played, is that a lot of the ends of the stages, it's not very hard to reach, but then there's like an extra 15 seconds it takes to get through the transition to the next checkpoint. So it almost feels like stage 5 tends to be easier because you don't have to spend so much time through the transition.
He flipped right at the end.
Ready?
Needed to just hold on for a little bit longer.
Is Lamsey having stream issues? I don't know if a refresh is all that would be needed.
They'll be able to report their own score at least.
Okay.
That's the advantage we have here.
Yep.
$11 minutes left. One thing you could try if you're dropping frames is turning the bitrate down. 500 is good for this because it's such a tiny single screen, as opposed to the 6,000 that most broadcasters probably use. And if that's still too high, then your internet just can't do it right now. Which I've had happen many times this year, thanks to Comcast. Thankfully, whatever that problem was, they fixed it. I bought a new router too.
This is Genesis Outrun. Jasperteen's the only person playing with kilometers per hour rather than miles per hour, and I think that's great.
Bigger number, better.
Bigger number is better. And I think you can see it right here on screen. Jasperteen is going 100 faster than anyone else, so.
They should let you measure by feet. They do some quick calculations. $950,400 feet per hour is 180 miles per hour, so that would be a cool number to have up there. Like a pinball score, yeah.
Checkpoint.
Jasperteen's got B, it looks like.
That's goal B for Jasperteen. Spritz got a goal as well. Is that goal B?
I think so. Yep, that's two players with two. I'm not sure if anyone else has one yet.
If they have, I've missed them. I've been trying to note them down.
Okami was really close. Patty's really close to the end of 4.
This looks like a different stage 4 than other players were doing. I did specifically tell them that they didn't have to do the goals in order. I was worried that a player might accidentally take the wrong fork and feel like they needed to reset, so I just said we want to see as many unique goals as possible.
Checkpoint.
Checkpoint.
Patty didn't have quite enough time to round that corner and make it to the checkpoint before the last leg. Okami's on stage 4, doing great right now.
They cut back up fast. They had a couple flips at the end of stage 5 that stopped them. I think they were right there.
I think it's a bit underappreciated how challenging it is to complete goals in Outrun. I think our players are doing pretty well, honestly. This game just tends to be very punishing. If you make one too many sizable mistake, that's the end of it.
Yep, it's that stage 3 that gets where things start to get rough. And I think that also probably matters which stage you chose. The desert stage seems like the worst one for a lot of people here.
Oh, Kami's making short work of this.
They've been here before, at least twice. Get nice big roads on stage 5 here on the A road.
There we go. Okami did it. 2 seconds left on the clock, but Okami did it.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Get ready.
We're getting down to the wire. Any big mistakes within the next minute or so, our players can still get another good attempt in, but time is almost up for any new attempts.
Despertine did not make it. Spritz, I think, is in the lead in terms of possibly getting 3 points.
Checkpoint.
Checkpoint. My claim to fame being the Outrun checkpoint guy.
Checkpoint.
I would make it my ringtone every time I called anybody. I would demand they said it. The checkpoint.
Spritz has plenty of time to be able to finish this round. Coming in here with a decent amount of time on the clock and getting that extra time at the checkpoint is going to make all the difference. If Spritz runs this clean, that is stage 5 easy.
This game does a pretty good job of telling you what's coming up. You just gotta learn how to interpret that into what that means for the brakes.
Yeah. It's got those big old rally signs on the side of the road.
Checkpoint.
It's got 8
Right
of them in a
turn,
row, so
maybe.
that you know it's coming.
Hard right turn, maybe.
Spritz has got it. That's 3.
Fantastic.
2 minutes left. Patty did not make it. I don't think they have time to get one now. Okami might be able to get this one.
Okami definitely has enough time on the clock to finish this one. The question is whether or not there's enough time on the clock to reach checkpoint. Oh yeah. He'll get the stage 4 checkpoint.
Checkpoint.
Oh, damn. Got spun out. 90 seconds. I'm thinking everybody's score is locked in here at this point. Unless Okami can get it done in no short amount of time here. I don't think it's possible.
Checkpoint.
Yeah, I don't think Okami's going to end up crossing that finish line in time.
I think they did get 1 point. They're going for the B right now. But they need another 30 seconds. Spritz with 3, Jasper team with 2. I'm not sure if Lamb's got any points or not. If you did, you can report it. Okami got 1, I think. I'm not sure about the other players. Yeah, if you can't broadcast, you're still welcome to play alongside. It's not like we're giving out prizes, so if you have a score to report, we don't need a referee to verify it or anything like that. Yeah, this game's tough. The clock is just really tight for what it is. I've played tougher.
Congratulations.
Like, anyone who's played Viability will love to switch to Outrun and never look back. Did Okami's car break down in front of the goal?
No, I think he got the course B completion. It's just
Okay.
very funny. It's just very funny that it was not quite within time.
Nice work, everybody. I'm looking at the scores getting reported here. Okami did get 1.
Okami desperately wants it to be 2, but sorry, that was 30 seconds after the end.
Score. Please input a valid number. Not, I don't know.
Outrun's a great game. I think I spent so much of my life throwing it into the Rad Racer bucket. This is a better game than Rad Racer, without a doubt.
Yeah, I don't really like that one. I appreciate its novelty. It wasn't until, I think, F-Zero on the SNES that I started enjoying any of these games. I can't think of one until then. It was the first one I played, though. I was like, wow, racing's fun. Like, I didn't feel like, maybe, like, even Excite Bike and games like that, it was just kind of like, they're not there yet, and I don't think that one was. Outrun is definitely there. Well, that's it for now. We'll find a cool game to race next week.
Yep.
Thanks for joining me.
Even better than Outrun.
That's right, Outrun 2. I
Oh.
don't know. We'll find something. See you later.
Later.
Folks, I'm going to find somebody to host. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.